Hi everyone, I'm Naomi and I'm a member of the Faithful Remnant Church, and I have a message to share with pretty much my brothers and sisters in the Faithful Remnant. There was an update from April 20th, 2017, and this was a really big and a really important update, and for those especially who are struggling to remain aboard the Ark of Safety. I want to go back just a little bit first and before I share the actual message, and explain that, several years ago I started reading the testimony. And, when I did, I read and read and read and read. And, I still read and read, but I mean, it really, some things just etched themselves in my mind because they were so disturbing. And it's not like horror scary. It's more like truthful scary. And the one thing I had remembered so very clearly was it was for the sake of 10, meaning that if there were 10 righteous people on the face of the earth, the Most High True God would not destroy it. And so he wouldn't close out the era yet. And the actual message is in the Mass of March 2nd, 2013. So, I would pray every single day for more and more members to join the Faithful Remnant, and of course they did. And then over time, they started falling off the Ark of Safety, and one by one, they were cut from the graces of the Most High True God. And so the other day when this message was posted, we were reminded of this very important homily in this Mass, and I was really, really thankful for Pope Peter for putting a reminder to look at that specific Mass video, because I went looking for it for about an hour, and I wasn't really sure where to look, and so, I mean, it was really, really important for me to reread this information, and I stress to you to go back and watch this Mass video and to read the homily. And for those of you who don't know, yes, there is that much packed into the testimony that you can lose track of where things are. So anyways, the time has come for another cut. And, we're being warned. And it's not just one, but it's going to be two. And so, I'm not the Most High True God. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know for a fact that it will happen, and soon. I wouldn't push it, If you're in any way struggling right now, you need to pray to the Most High True God to fill you with strength not to give up. You see, we have about 35 people left, and it must be fulfilled that we lose all but 10. Now, I'm not sure if that means 9 or 10, so I don't know exactly. But most are going to choose their own fate simply by neglect. Don't give up. Don't let the enemy take control of what you've worked so hard for. I can't stress to you enough. Don't throw in the towel. Here's where I stand among my brothers and sisters. Don't even think for a second that I'm going to give you my spot. I have that desire, that burning desire to love the Most High True God and to love Him more than I love myself and more than I love my family. And I choose to change my interior life and structure it around how He wants me to be. And I choose to persevere. And everyone in the Faithful Remnant has made this choice at one time or another, throughout their journey. But over the last year, most have chosen to turn back to living and being part of the world. And they've chosen the broader path because for some reason or another, it was inconvenient. And even those who I thought were like way, way stronger than myself have crumbled. I'm not worthy. I'll be the first one to tell you, none of us are. And we need to keep that kind of humility in mind. And we need to resolve to always, always do better. And never falter on your loyalty and your love to the Most High True God. What's inconvenient? How about everything that the two witnesses have done in their calling? and things like keeping the website up to date and up and running. And how about them leaving their entire lives behind to help us in the Faithful Remnant who don't deserve it? Or watching all the videos and corresponding to all of us, not just us in the Faithful Remnant, but all of those outside of the Faithful Remnant too. And, you know, I would say that's pretty inconvenient. But they don't complain. How about Mary and Joseph when they had to trust blindly in messages that they received from the Most High True God? They didn't complain, they just did it. And, you know, what about Jesus? He really made the ultimate sacrifice. You know, he gave his life willingly for those of us who don't deserve it. And, you know, just so that we may have the opportunity for the chance of salvation. You know, your sacrifice is nothing compared to what Jesus went through. And, you know, if you've made it this far, then you have that desire. But you have to fight the temptations of apathy and spiritual neglect. Fight for your spot because there's not many left. And remember, only 10 will make it. I'd go with 9 just to be safe. You know, here's the update from April 20th, 2017. And it's under the title of Immediate Implications. And so, even though the number of the remnant at one time reached more than 70 people, that number has now been cut in half. And in order to close the era, the number of the official members of the Faithful Remnant will need to be cut in half 2 more times in order to get it below 10. So I guess there's our number 9. And as an added bonus, you may want to reread the For the Sake of 10 homily from the March 2nd, 2013 Mass videos. And for anyone looking in from the outside, you know that this is not a physical fight that's going on here. This is spiritual, and your soul is up for grabs. So if you have not seen the testimony, go to www.testimonyofthetwowitnesses.com. And brothers and sisters, you got to quit complaining, and you have to resolve to glorify the Most High True God in all things, even if you're suffering, because we're not growing unless we're suffering. And you got to give it all or nothing. And I know we all want to make it, but not everyone will.